Hi folks, this is Vicky at patternprincess.com. I want to show you a really pretty stitch that just has some subtle texture to it. It has creates a little bit of a ribbed row, but it's a little bit more of a wavy row instead of a sharp rib. And this here I'm actually going to use as a washcloth pattern. And I'm going to look for some more. This is Lion Brand 24/7. I'm going to look for some more colors in this. I had a partial skein left over that I used, and this is going to make a lovely washcloth. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to make another one. As you can see, I didn't even weave my yarn end yet. I'm also making a blanket out of this color, or no, I shouldn't say this color, this stitch, and it's a number 3, like a lightweight yarn, and I'll have that one done. I'm about halfway through it. I'll have that one done shortly, and that's looking really pretty in this stitch. This is another medium weight yarn. It looks a little bit different in each kind of yarn that you use. This is a Furls Wander yarn. It's medium. So it shows up a little bit more in this yarn here. And it looks the same on both sides, but isn't this pretty? And it's just a 1-row repeat. And I'm going to show you how to do this, okay? It's just a gorgeous stitch. Okay, the yarn that I'm using, this is a Furls yarn again. It's a medium weight yarn, and I'm using a size I hook, 5.5 millimeter. So I'm just going to set this down here. I'm going to get my slip knot on my hook. But this is a very simple pattern, and it's kind of like a herringbone pattern, almost like a single crochet. I guess closer to the single crochet herringbone, but kind of modified. So here we go. I'm going to, and you can chain any multiple. So I'm going to do, I don't know, let's just do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, because you'll get the gist after this. So here we go. I'm going to skip the first stitch and the second one. You can either work in the top loop or you can turn it around and work in the back bump, depending on what project you do. For today, I'm just going to work on that top loop. And we're just going to do a row of single crochets. So that's really simple. This just kind of gives us a nice foundation row. And it's wonderful because you can use any number of stitches. I'll just work through our single crochet here. And then when I get to row 2, that is the row that we're going to repeat. Okay. So here's my row of single crochet. So I'm going to turn my work. So now here we're going to chain 2. 1, 2. That does count as your first double crochet. We're going to yarn over, so that we're going to skip this stitch here because we counted this as our first double crochet, our first stitch. So we're going to go right into the next stitch, and we're just going to work a double crochet. All right, now I'm going to stop. So I want to make sure, I'm going to bring this up closer. Maybe I'll take the loop out and show you. So on your crochet, you have your 2 loops that this has gone through, the last 2. These are like 2 legs that are on your double crochet. We're going to go underneath this first leg on the bottom left leg of the double crochet stitch. So I'm going to yarn over, just like I'm going to do a double crochet. And I'm going to go through this bottom left leg. Then I'm going to go through the next stitch, yarn over, draw it through. And I'll have 4 loops on my hook, yarn over, draw through 3, and yarn over, draw through 2. That is the magic stitch right there. So yarn over, go through the bottom left leg, go through the next stitch, yarn over, draw it through, yarn over, draw through 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, draw through 2. And we'll do this again. Yarn over, go through the bottom left loop, or I should say that so I don't goof you up. Go through the next stitch, yarn over, draw up a loop, 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, go through 3 loops, yarn over, go through the last 2. And I'm going to continue this all the way across. So this is almost as fast as working a normal double crochet, but you've got that little extra step. So I can't quite do it while watching TV too much because you do got to make sure you look down at that bottom left loop, that left leg. I'm going to get a little bit more yarn here to finish this row. And then we're going to bottom left, next stitch, and then we're coming to the end. And the end, we work the same way. So we yarn over, bottom left, last stitch. Make sure you go through those 2 loops, yarn over, draw it through, yarn over, go through all 3 loops and the last 2 loops. Now let's look at how this is looking. You see how there's a little bit of texture right there? That's that bottom left leg that we yarned. We put our hook underneath. And this is the back. The back is flat looking. But once I turn it, I'm going to get some more yarn here while I'm talking. Once I turn it and I do the same stitch back the other way, it creates a flat spot on this side, and the ridge side, I'll show you with a sample. So you have the ridge on this side, and on this side is the row of the ridge, where this side it's flat. So it kind of gives you that wavy ridge look to it, okay? It's really kind of a nice little stitch. I really like it. I'm going to try this as well. Well, this is medium weight yarn, and again, you can see how different it looked in the different styles of yarn I've used. And wait till you see the one in the three weight. That looks really pretty. It's a pastel blanket. But I'm going to try it in a chunky yarn. I think that this would look pretty in a chunky too. We'll see. Maybe not. So I'm going to chain 2. That counts as our double crochet in the first stitch. So we're not going to work in this stitch. We're going to work in this stitch and then just yarn over and do a double crochet. Normal double crochet. All right. Then the next stitch is where we start working in the leg. Bottom left, yarn over, bottom left leg, and then in the next stitch, then you yarn over, draw it through. Here's your 4 loops, yarn over, draw through 3 loops, and then yarn over, go through 2. Okay, so now I'm just going to work a little bit here, just to make sure you have this down. This is how this looks to work it, and then you just continue to repeat this stitch all the way through. And you can end your last row with this stitch, I think, or a row of single crochet. I think either way it would be fine. There we go. And then we have this stitch here. Now make sure when you end, so we're not done here yet. You see how this is, if you're a brand new beginner crocheter, see how my end is lined up nice? This one here, you see how this is kind of sticking out? Remember I did that first chain too? Here's one chain, here's the second. The second one becomes really small sometimes. So make sure that you do your very last stitch. And if you started with 10 stitches, like I did, we should have 9 if you count your stitches across, because we skipped one when we did our first single crochet, okay? So if you want to count your stitches, that's good too. So here's how it looks on one side. So we got the flatter side here, ridge side here, and now this we have the ridge side here and the flatter side here. So that's how to do this stitch, and you just continue to repeat row 2 all the way across. So I hope that you've liked this tutorial, and then you give it a shot and you make some pretty things out of it. I will have some patterns using this. I'll have the directions for the stitch up on the website too by the time you see this, but I'm going to be making some patterns, like I said, out of this, and I'll have the patterns on the website as well, and they're all free. make sure you visit patternprincess.com. Thanks for watching. Have fun crocheting.